Hey nerds, long time no see! Welcome to 2016. I'd like to thank you all for your feedback on the Mario Maker video. I'd like to start off by extending my apologies to all those who have been disappointed by my shortcomings in regards to the content not being put out, whilst also thanking those who have continued to put their faith in me despite my inconsistencies and my absence. There are 4 points I'd like to cover today. What 2015 meant to me, the difficulties I had in 2015, why I stopped uploading in December and until now, and my hopes for this year, 2016. What did 2015 mean for me? 2015 for me was a time for me to experiment and learn to better express myself. A time for me to grow up and accept some more responsibilities and pick up some different things that I should have done by now. Time for me to test my limits and further understand the relationships I have with people, with my friends, my family, etc., etc. With YouTube as well. That's what 2015 was to me. Now, what were the difficulties of 2015? All of the above. 2015 was tricky for me. I had a lot of freedom last year. I went from being fresh out of high school to having a better idea of what I could do with my time, mostly being a second year uni student who works part-time and studies, every other day. I spent all of last year trying to figure out where I stood on things in certain matters, how I expressed my opinions. I went from checking the little box as either black or white to grey, and I spent a lot of time trying to stand behind my decisions to keep that box grey. So understandably, some people were confused and I couldn't articulate what I wanted a lot of the time. There were some misunderstandings of people and things went wrong. In regards to expressing myself, things were a little bit difficult. So part of growing up is making decisions and picking up more responsibility in regards to the company that I was working with. One of the branches that I was at shut down, so I moved to a new branch. There was a whole new team of people. Understanding what was expected of me was a tricky thing for me to grasp. For some reason, it just took me a lot longer than I thought it would. On top of all this, responsibility-wise, I had to work towards my driver's provisional plates, which are P's in Australia. So there's little bits and pieces that I need to get together and get my head in gear. Last year was a year to test my limits. On the educational front, I was a second year student doing 2 third year classes and basically was surrounded by people who were about to finish their degree or they had an idea of what they wanted to do with their life. So this really messed with my head because originally I had chosen to do an international studies degree in Japanese just because it seemed like a good option at the time. Yes, I'd always, I guess, envisioned a career with the Japanese in mind, but never really kind of worked out what I wanted to do. So having learnt Japanese for 8 years now, I suddenly was surrounded by people who knew what they wanted to do and I still didn't. On top of everything, the workload for a language subject, not just Japanese, any language, particularly in uni, is a lot. There's a lot required of you. It was my love for the culture and my past history with the language that allowed me to pass somehow. Things got pretty bad on that front. There are days where I literally had to drag myself out of bed to go to these classes and I felt like I was so behind on work and I wasn't understanding all the characters and things like that. There's a lot of characters you need to learn with Japanese. And the only thing that was dragging me out of bed was fear of failing because every other part of the subject of the unit I wasn't doing well in, so attendance and participation was what I was rooting on towards the end half of the units, and a couple of days I even didn't. Had to actually seek out extra help. External assistance came in the form of a counselling kind of program on campus that kind of helps students work their way through some of the issues. I do tend to overthink things, so that's also part of that. So I was just constantly in this really negative, low mood sphere kind of thing. As it turns out, I realized I suffer from panic attacks when I talk in front of a bunch of people in another language and or in a assessment situation. Conversational one-on-one is fine, generally, because I don't feel bad for making any mistakes, but expectations just cause me to mess up. This was actually happening towards the second half of 2015 when I figured out I needed help. There was a bit of secrecy in my life because of that, because I didn't want people to know that I needed help. There were days where my mood was really low, I was snappy or something like that. Only a few of my closest friends knew. My dad found out spontaneously, by accident really. I got mad at him and I told him, hey, you know, my life isn't perfect too. I'm going through this shit. Both my educational limits and limits of my well-being were tested. My relationships with people also was something that I had difficulties with last year. Like knowing where I stand with somebody, knowing what they expect of me and from me. Yeah, I might be overthinking all this, but it's just part of who I am and it dictates how I see the world, my world. I can't get rid of it, so I might as well work with it. But again, expectations and notions of disappointment, those things started overwhelming my thoughts. When I was out seeing people, it was a matter of me pushing away any thoughts of that, putting me in a corner and just kind of enduring the moment, but then I'd always go back to it and I just want to stay in my room the whole time. So why did I stop YouTubing and stuff like that in December until now? First off, it was Christmas. Christmas in retail is extremely draining. I was going around seeing friends in that time too, making use of time because some of my friends are going overseas and they don't have time in January. I'm making use of the first half of Christmas with friends, and then the second half I was working in retail and getting ready for Christmas and Boxing Day, yada yada yada. It was my me time period. That was how I did it. Even though I did promise that I was going to upload more, I neglected to do address this channel and tell everyone at least what was happening. You might be asking what happened to the first 2 weeks of January. My computer decided to die. To be precise, the SSD probably overheated and crashed with everything on it. So the first week or so was me working out what was wrong with my computer, and then I realized that I needed to take everything off the computer and put it onto a external hard drive, which I haven't done because I didn't back up my computer. Yeah. Back up your computer, guys. I manually worked my way through all the code. There's a picture here of me just like watching all these files copy over to the HDD. I bought a 5 terabyte HDD. After I downloaded Windows back on and started installing programs, I realized that the SSD was the flame, and that's why this whole thing happened in the first place. So I went out and bought another one, and then I had to download all the programs back on that. This all happened over the course of 2.5 weeks, and it was only 3 days prior to uploading Mario that I managed to get everything together and working, and I spent those 3 days before that sorting out all the templates and stuff like that and changing all the destinations and figuring everything out again. So yeah, it's fun. Technology, only good when it works. So I'm hoping to get some more content out soon, but you've heard me say this before. I don't want to make promises I can't keep, but my aim and my intention is to put some more videos out, such as this one, maybe a few more vlogs, and then get back to some gaming videos. I go back to uni end of February, so it gives me about a month and a half to kind of get some content out there. So wrap up, what do I hope for 2016? My mantra for this year is be the better version of yourself. I think I've said it in a video before. That doesn't mean like I'm gonna go out and get super fit, super healthy all of a sudden. It's just be a better version, be a happier version of yourself if possible. But I'm looking forward to 2016. New opportunities, new people to meet, lots of upcoming problems to probably deal with and work my way through. So yeah, 2016 for the win. There's more happy stuff coming soon. Hoping to get that room tour done. You can probably see in the background there's a new shelf over there, and there's some books here if you see there. So thanks for watching, nerds. In the meantime, all the best. See you when I see you. Bye! Hey nerds, I just wanted to add that while 2016 is a brand new year for opportunity and whatnot, don't forget you're not alone at any point in time or place. I encourage everyone to go out and seek help if you're struggling or finding it a little bit difficult, be it external assistance like I did or just chatting with a friend or a loved one. But that's all for this time. More content coming soon, Nerdians. All the best. See you when I see you. Bye!